Hi, thank you so much for being here today. I'm Marie-Louise and welcome to my channel. So today I'm experimenting with a double helix and I've got a new exciting tool. That's on the left hand side there, and my trusty spatula. So I thought today I'd give a bit more detail in this video. I'm just showing you the colours now, and they're thicker than what I usually use. And so I've experimented with a pouring medium and with the cell activator to create a few more cells and to help with the flow as well. So today I've got a black base and all the details will be in the description. I thought I'd start off with a drip test. So I've got the iridescent gold there and titanium white, and I'm now placing down the blue-green and then the cobalt violet. Some gorgeous colours today. So what I thought I'd do on the drip test is put the same amount of paint alongside each other and see how quickly the drip comes down. So when you look at the dripping, you know, and they're falling at the same rate, they're running at the same rate, you know that the paints are more likely to blend together. So that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm just laying the paints next to each other and I've allowed them to drip, and as you can see, one or two of them look like they're dripping a bit more. The blue looks a little bit more runny than the others. So what I'm making sure first of all is that there's the same amount of paint in each drip that's dripping down, and I'm adding a little bit more Floetrol to the blue afterwards. I can tell that needs a little bit more, and the others seem to be dripping then at the same speed because I've added a little bit more to the white and the gold to bring them up to the same amount of paint, because you can't really do an accurate drip test unless there's exactly the same amount of paint on there. So it's a rough gauge, but you can tell. So now I've added my Floetrol, made sure that all the paints are of the same consistency. I'm laying down the black base paint and I'm really enjoying the flow of this paint today. I'm getting in that mode for doing a bit of a helix by going round and round and round. I love all the shapes of nature, and you probably know by now, if you're regular to my channel, that everything I do is inspired by nature of some sort. This particular painting today is inspired by a lovely friend of mine, Cathy, who writes short stories, and she's in the choir with me, and she suggested that we play with some colour, and that there could be something I could do with the colours of the uniform of two choirs that are coming together to raise money for a wonderful charity for ambulances to be driven to the Ukraine this year. So we're singing at Truro Cathedral in Cornwall, along with some other amazing choirs and people reading out meaningful poetry and all sorts of wonderful things. So I just really wanted to do something for the event to see if we could raise some money. So I just set about doing this one. So I wanted to do initially some sort of helix pattern or DNA pattern, two strands of thoughts intertwining together, and as the uniform of the two choirs that are coming together that we're part of, the uniform is black, and one of the choirs has got purple in it and the other choir has got a turquoise blue. So I thought, why not intertwine the purple and the blue together? So that's what I'm doing today. And it was only when I was just before doing this painting I thought, you know what, a helix pattern, intertwining thoughts, DNA, nature, people coming together, and so that just felt really exciting. So now I'm just finishing off the base. I'm just making sure that all the sides are coloured. The only thing with a white canvas and black paint is it needs to be really covered on the first layer. You can do touch-ups afterwards, but it's really good to get a nice layer. So that's what I'm doing now, really making sure that all the sides are covered. I do find this part of the painting really therapeutic, and I could do this for absolutely ages. One of the things I find quite important when covering the base is making sure that even though I'm going to be spinning this out a little bit later, the paint is dripping nicely over the edges, and so you've got that really generous fill on the edge of the painting. Once you've done that, you're pretty much okay when you're spinning, because the rest of it will just drip off, and then you can scrape off the bottom drips with the palette knife at the end. So now the base is pretty much done. I'm just now getting rid of the air bubbles with my kitchen blowtorch, making sure to stay at least 3 or 4 inches away from the paint, because even though it's highly unlikely to burst into flames, it is flammable to a certain degree, and if you get too close to the paint, there's a danger that you might singe the paint a little bit. So the first colour today I'm going to lay down is the purple. Look at that beautiful rich violet, cobalt violet, and then my turquoise. See, I could leave it there in many ways, and that on its own would be a lovely pattern, but now I want to put some gold in it to highlight it, and I want it to be an organic helix, not just a mathematical one, because the pattern on its own is symbolic of our DNA and symbolic of the basis of us as humans, and that's quite a mathematical thing. And I just thought the artistic side of things for me just feels more flowing, more expansive, and a little bit more rustic. So I'm just dripping some gold now, which is going to highlight the painting. Just be careful at this stage to put the gold inside of the colour, so that it has a different effect than if you put the gold on the black. I think I'm quite happy with the amount of gold there, it's not too much. I'm now going to use my cell activator. So just before I speak about that, can you see how I just dipped the palette knife in and turned it on its side just to drip off, so I just had just enough white paint on there. You can experiment with that, there's no right or wrong to that, but I just wanted quite a small amount today. Now, all the instructions of how to make that up will be in the description below, and I'm going to do another video on making a cell activator, because this one today is basically Floetrol, titanium white, and a bit of wood conditioner. This was inspired by Louise McKay art, and she has a whole video on the cell activator and how she makes up batches of it, so pop along to her channel and have a look. And my good friend August pointed me in that direction, so I was really pleased to find how to make up that particular cell activator. And it's quite a complex mix today, because I experimented with different pouring medium as well. So using the palette knife, just going through, just watching how I just drew the 2 lines and how I'm reinforcing the lines on top of each other. If you need to rewind and have a look at that bit again, go back and have a look, because there is one line and another line, and then I go over it, and it's easier just to watch it back and see how it's done. So now I'm just adding a little bit of more of the purple, because the blue has been a bit bossy on this one. So let's bring some purple in just to define it a bit more. And I'm finding that this top layer now, which is going to be the 3D effect of the helix, it's coming together quite nicely. I can see a few bits that I need to bring more flow to. I'm just bringing a bit more cell activator in there on the blue, and I'm going to carry that through a bit more with the little helix structure underneath. Can you see how I'm beginning to encourage that 3D effect together. So I'm just going to leave you with some lovely music for a little while, and I'll be back towards the end to show you the end result and the close-ups.
enjoy the spinning and expansion of the paint and watching the cells helping the continuity of that pattern as we go along. We shall see shortly the end result.
So we've now finished, and you can see how much has come off the canvas and how it could be an idea to have a larger canvas too. But I do love the finished result, and it's exactly what I was going for, a double helix together with a bit of a rustic look, letting some cells expand, and the purple and the turquoise together. I'd love to know what you think of this painting and if it's inspired you. I'd love to know any comments that you have about any ideas that come up, and always enjoy sharing the process and hearing what your creations are and seeing what you're designing, whether that's from music to art to poetry, whatever it is. I love creativity and sharing experiences. I want to say thank you so much for being here today. Hopefully this painting will go off and make some money for the charity for the Ukraine ambulances being driven there for Christmas. So have a wonderful afternoon and day, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed already and you like the content, please do. And don't forget to put the bells on. Have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye.